With more on what this victory for the NDP last night in Saskatoon could mean for the province, we're joined by the CBC's polls analyst, Eric Grenier. How significant of a swing was this, Eric?
It was a very significant swing. In total, when we look at it, the NDP, they won with 60% of the vote. That was up 15 points from 2016. The Saskatchewan Party, they dropped 17 points to 31%. So you're looking at a 32-point swing in this riding of Saskatoon-Fairview. So that is a very big one. And if we have to look historically, the last time the New Democrats did this well in that riding, it's 1999. And then, of course, that is when they were in government. And the Saskatchewan Party hasn't had such a poor showing in this riding since 2003, and they were in opposition at that point. So clearly that is a big swing towards the NDP, following along the big swing we saw in March in Saskatoon-Mawat, where Ryan Miley won with a big swing of 22 points towards the NDP there. So clearly the NDP, it does seem to be on the upswing.
It does. And how significant do you think this could be going forward? We know there's a lot happening with the election of party leaders in the next little while and ultimately getting to the general election, which is still a ways off. But what significance do you see in the next little while here for each party?
Well, that is where the New Democrats do have to be careful, because clearly there is a lot of anger with the Saskatchewan Party government, and the NDP is a beneficiary, and of course there's not really other options where that could benefit from that anger. So for now, the New Democrats don't have a leader in place. When they do have a leader, a lot of these people who might be angry with the Saskatchewan Party government might not like what the NDP is offering. For now, the NDP is a generic alternative to the Saskatchewan Party, so it does help them that way. But, you know, these are the kinds of big swings that you see in some provinces when a government is a little bit on the way out. And it confirms some of the polls that we were seeing earlier in the year that were showing that the race was getting much closer between the Saskatchewan Party and the NDP. That it was the closest that we've seen the two parties since 2007 when Brad Wall first came to power. So when you do see that these by-election results are backing up the poll numbers, they do suggest that what those polls are finding is actually what is happening on the ground.
And is there any indication what the polls would be showing now and going forward, what you expect to see?
Well, I think there could be a lot of volatility because of this, the two leadership races that will be ongoing for the next few months. And for the NDP, though, they can look at this kind of swing, a 32-point swing, which is bigger than what the polls were showing was the case in Saskatoon just a few months ago. So maybe things are actually even worse for the Saskatchewan Party today than they were in the spring. But even that kind of swing, a 32-point swing, wouldn't be enough to elect an NDP government because the Saskatchewan Party is still very strong outside of Saskatoon and Regina. So until that changes, the NDP does need to still make up some ground if they want to have any hopes of replacing the government when the next election rolls around, which is in 2020.
Thanks for your analysis tonight, Eric.
Thanks.
Eric Grenier is a senior writer and polls analyst with CBC.